Aspen Country Day, and we're doing metals in our water. What we want you to take away from our slideshow is how the metals enter the water, what the effect of the metals are in the water, what the local status is, and the solutions to the problem.
Could you speak just a little louder?
What we want you to take away from the slideshow is how the metals enter the water, and the solutions and the effects.
Okay, so some causes of metals in our water. Naturally, there's erosion, which is when the rocks and minerals erode and the sediment contain metals. And then this is like natural, so this normally fills our rivers with like a healthy amount of metals, but since we add non-natural causes, it can sometimes go over. So some non-natural causes are car brakes. And that's when you have these two pads in your car brakes, and they rub together and create like a fine dust. And it can be up to 20% copper, and then it washes into our river. And then also mines, which is a big problem locally because, as we used to be an old mining town, the mine tailings get rained on or snowed on, and when it goes down the hills and it goes into our rivers, then we get a lot of unhealthy metals in our rivers.
Although there are many metals that can end up in the Roaring Fork River, we chose to focus on 9 main metals, each of which have different thresholds. They can either have an acute threshold, which is very serious and affects animals and humans instantly, or they can have a chronic threshold, which is not as serious and takes more time to impact. Arsenic is one of the main metals that we have in our rivers, and unlike most metals, arsenic is non-beneficial to the human body. Arsenic gets into our rivers going through rocks and soils, and if consumed, arsenic can cause numbness, digestive issues, and some types of cancers. The threshold is 360 parts per billion acute and 150 chronic. Parts per billion is the measurement of the metal concentration in our water. Percent is out of 100, and parts per billion is just out of a billion, so there's way less metals in our river.
And then this is a graph, and the arrow is pointing to arsenic dissolved into the river, and it's 0 parts per billion. And
so that's really good. And the graph was collected by River Washington as well. So, next slide.
Aluminum is added to remove diseases and unhealthy bacteria from the water. However, the body does not need it to survive, and in too high amounts can be lethal and can affect the nervous system negatively. The threshold is 750 parts per billion in acute and 87 chronic. And then on this graph, it is 2.68 in our Castle Creek River.
Okay, selenium is a necessity for both humans and aquatic life, but only in small quantities. And in large quantities, it can cause birth defects, brain damage. And it's important for humans because it protects and it helps your thyroid glands, these stay healthy, and that protects you from infections. The threshold is 135 parts per billion.
And on this graph, it's 0.014.
Zinc is necessary for the human body in small amounts, and it is used for cell growth and cell differentiation. The threshold for this metal is 100,000 parts per billion, and if it is over that threshold, then it is toxic to human life and aquatic life.
And on this graph from our river in Castle Creek, it was 15.5 parts per billion. Copper plays a big part in cellular metabolism, which is a fancy term for the chemical reactions and transportation of oxygen and blood throughout the body. However, copper is very toxic to fish and trout. Copper is beneficial to the immune system and blood vessels and bone structure. The threshold is 1.3 milliliters per liter, which is 1,300 parts per billion. And in this one, it had 1.21 parts per billion.
Okay, lead does not benefit the human body, and it's toxic to both aquatic life and humans. And the threshold is 100 pounds in the river because if it was in parts per billion, it'd be really small.
And in our river, Castle Creek, it was 0, which is good.
So iron is mainly found in wells and lakes and is good for your body in small amounts. Iron helps your body carry messages from your brain to the rest of your body and is indirectly toxic prior to being directly toxic. If it exceeds 1,000 parts per billion, it can lead to plant and animal habitats being ruined, and the threshold is 1,000 parts per billion.
And on this graph, it is 4.6 parts per billion. Calcium is picked up when the water moves through soil and dirt and through erosion. Calcium affects the hardness of the water, and calcium is needed for bones, muscles, and neurotransmitters. However, too much calcium can lead to problems like kidney and liver failure. The threshold is 700 to 850 milligrams per liter, which is 700,000 to 850,000 parts per billion. And on this graph, it was 13,000.
Magnesium is mostly carried into our rivers through water moving through soil and rocks, and it affects like the hardness of the water. Magnesium is still similar to calcium, and it helps regulate blood pressure, muscle function, and nerve function. And it has too much of it has been linked to cardiovascular disease, but is pretty harmless and normally not found in large amounts. And so the threshold is 100,000 parts per billion.
And on this, and then on this graph, it's 13,000 parts per billion.
So when metals dissolve in the water, it typically leads to harming aquatic life and humans. And although different metals have different effects on aquatic life, common effects are birth defects, stunted growth, and the inability to reproduce. The metals also affect different parts of the human body. For example, arsenic affects the brain and lungs, and lead affects bones and liver.
So some ways they test it, they use an electron spectrometer, and an electron spectrometer exposes a sample to an energy source, and then it gives a radio output. And the way you can tell the metals apart is by the different colors they give off. So as you can see in the graph, the different colors are different metals.
And then for solutions, excavating can physically remove large rocks or high quantities of metal. And then they also have plants that can extract metals through their roots. But mainly they make man-made wetlands, which soaks up the metals with the plants.
Right under the wire. Nicely done, guys.